So welcome everybody. 14 beautiful souls have managed to see the live pop up thus far with 188,000 subscribers. Yeah, incredible, eh? Welcome everybody. You are important, and this conversation. Never done this before actually. Never done a talk on keywords, and it's funny whenever I mention keywords and I say I don't want to, mention certain keywords. God, it reminds me of the life of Brian when he was stood up. He basically fell down and then realised he was on a podium with lots of other crazies talking, and so he started talking and we were looking up. Anyway, he was more focused on the Roman garrison looking for him, and he uttered some words and he never finished those words, and then everybody paid attention. What were you going to say? Nothing. Yes you was. Don't lie. No I wasn't. Yes you was. No I wasn't. Anybody who says there wasn't was, yet tell us what it was. To the point where people get pissed off, angry, like, how dare you not tell me? It's like ego kicks in, and people don't realize that when certain people don't mention things, there's a good reason for it. There's an absolute reason for it. And it's not about money. It's not about trying to grab your attention and make you, want even more. There could be legitimate reasons why you don't want to talk about these things. So here I am, made a promise to 2 or 3 people who inboxed me earlier on and said we'd really be interested in keywords. What does it entail? So I said, okay, we'll do a mini workshop, and I'm in Bali. I should be resting now, but true to my word, I'll do a little mini workshop. Hopefully we won't be disturbed. So first of all, you're going to be disappointed because I'm not going to give you all the information straight away, and hopefully at the end of it you'll say, oh okay, right, okay, maybe there's a reason why he's not giving me all the information, and now I've understood what he said. Maybe I understand why he hasn't mentioned that. Okay, so it's not anything to do with hocus pocus. It's got nothing to do with the keywords themselves. Okay, nothing. It's called, there's something very important about life when you share things with people. And one reason you don't share out of ego, you share out of whether somebody's ready for it or not, or whether somebody can take that information and misuse it. So just think about that for a moment before you judge me and get upset why I don't want to give keywords away. Plus the fact they're very personal as well. And they don't, well, I'll explain anyway. So welcome 31 beautiful souls to this short, not too long, kind of the introduction really. I put that on the description. He said it's introduction, so where do I start? First of all, the chances are that you need to use this information is so rare, it's unreal. So that in itself should make you relaxed and don't worry about it. But I guess if you look at it in this way, when you go and learn CPR, when you go and learn how to help somebody in whatever modality it is, you come away with the experience and the knowledge of, well, if you ever see it, you'll be able to help somebody now. Well, this is the same thing, okay? So God. You see, I've already shot myself in the foot because I wouldn't want anybody to intervene if you've taken my understanding and it doesn't work. Okay, this is where I am now. What if it doesn't fucking work and then something bad happens? You see what I mean? Why I don't share? So many reasons why. Yeah, but let's tackle it in another way. Okay, so first of all, why are keywords used? In my opinion, keywords are used for certain frequency and energy, right? And what is a keyword? A keyword is a vibration that is generated from the soul. The soul uses keywords, and when the soul generates an energy of healing, it comes out into the voice as an energy. So you might have heard me in the past, if you've ever watched any of my videos, that certain people talk and say nothing, meaning that certain people say nothing, but you can feel everything. So it's to do with frequency and energy. That's what keywords are, frequency and energy. So why are keywords normally used? The consciousness knows at certain points that something needs to be in a different frequency, a different energy, a different vibration than normal words. And some words come from the heart. And if you ever watch somebody talk and all of a sudden it's like somebody slapped you in the face, it's like somebody just whacked you and you've gone, oh my God, you can feel something that has just touched you so deeply that there are no words, you just feel it, you just felt it, and it can trigger emotion, it can cleanse, it can clear, and it can also, this is the vital part, it can also transmute dark energy into light, meaning that it can dissipate it instantly. So these are key points, okay? Key points to the key words. So I'm going to give you a great example. I just left dancing in a nightclub. I used to be a dancer, and I was on my own. It was Mr. Craig's in Bradford, and I just finished a night, and I walked out with my bag, and I walked down the road because I'd parked quite far away. Walked down the road, and from nowhere, two guys grabbed me and pulled me into an alley. And I can't really explain, you know, I basically just shat myself. It was like, you just know something bad is about to happen. So in that moment, they started talking slowly. What have you got in your bag? And I could feel this presence, this energy building up inside these two. It was going from a calmness to more aggression. And as they were talking, all of a sudden, something happened within me that came from the consciousness. It wasn't my brain shut down out of fear. But something came out of my consciousness, my heart, and it came out in words of love, respect, brother. So there were certain words that broke down the evil that was in them. You're my brothers. I respect you. I love you, man. And it was certain words that were used that in that instant, there were a few more words, I'm not going to give you them all, but they were used in a way that all of a sudden the tightness of my wrists released. 2 laughs came out of both of these guys, and they let me go. And not until I was older, not until I started this field of work, that I met this man who sat in front of me, and I read for him, and then he began to explain what he did for a living, and he talked about key words, and I was fascinated. So he gave me some key words, not with love, but he wanted to show me the power of key words in clearing, in creating, not clearing evil, but creating, or creating fear, or creating illness. And he said certain words, which I'm not going to repeat, but they were my words. And they probably might not affect you, but they affected me because they were key words. And I literally had to stop myself from throwing up. And then I realized the power of words at that point. And we sat and had a coffee afterwards, and I said, "You've just made me realize the power of words." And he said, "They're not just words, Mark. They come from a place where is very rarely used." You know, on a side note, everything that you think is bad normally comes with a message or good. So we're so lost in translation. We're so lost in everything in life that we think that everything's against us. Everything is bad luck. It's everything's going wrong. I'm going to give you for instance of how I can maybe change your thinking, and I've got thousands of them, right? Because as a healer, you learn to understand things. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Okay, have you ever heard the expression that I stubbed my big toe and everything went wrong thereafter? You heard that before? Basically means that, you know, you start the morning, you get out of bed and you bang your big toe against something and you're in pain, right? What if I said to you that there's another side to all of life, and that big toe that you banged was a sign from your consciousness that your, let's say, your awareness isn't what it should be. You are not focused properly, and therefore your big toe is in pain. Now, what would you do with your big toe when it's in pain? I know what I would do. I'd start massaging that big toe gently and just gently squeezing it to get rid of the pain, and just gently squeezing it and massaging that big toe. Now, let me tell you something else about the big toe, which I have no idea about reflexology and under the feet. I don't know nothing about these things, but I can tell you this. Every time I went to meditation, I found myself squeezing my big toes. I know you're going to laugh. You're going to think it's stupid, but I was massaging my big toe. And I asked myself, why the freaking hell am I always massaging my big toe when I'm doing absent healing, or when I'm about to do a healing, or when I'm going to do some astral travel and things like, why am I always on my big toe? And I remember squeezing my toe like I would squeeze here to release pressure. And I believe there's something about the big toe that definitely can awaken your senses, or it heightens your senses, not your awareness to things that could happen. So like if you're in a car, I can normally see an accident before it happens. I can see it going to happen. Why is that? Because my senses are far greater than what my eyes are telling me. My eyes are only telling me that there's a car there and there's a car there and they're just driving. But my senses says them two cars are going to collide. I don't know why it doesn't, but they did. They collided, and I saw that happening. I saw that young lad getting knocked off his bike. I could see it happen before it happened. So certain things you can see. You can't determine everything because sometimes you might miss something. But that the whole point of banging your big toe is because, in my opinion, your big toe is connected to the physical that awakens and stimulates this beautiful body temple to be able to correspond in a beautiful way with your spiritual, because they both have to work together. There's a physical and there's a chemical reaction. Okay, anyway, it might sound bullshit to you, but these are the things that I start to realize 20 years ago, that the stuff that we don't even know. And we think we know everything. We don't know nothing. We know nothing. We know, I say, a beach, a grain of sand on a beach, that's as much as we know. So keywords can create and can heal and have the ability to clear away dark attachments or negative energy or demonic energy. So words can be spoken that can clear that away. But remember, they're not just words. They come from somewhere so deep that they're no longer words, they're a frequency and energy. So when the word comes out, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Boom! Those are key words. So keywords can be used in a positive and a negative. That's why they say words are spells. Well, they are if somebody believes in them words, but I'm talking about keywords, which is a frequency, a language from the soul that is so profound that it can disperse, it can melt away darkness and any kind of bad things. Now, at this point, I want to say this is the reason why I don't want to go too deep into this, because I don't want you then facing somebody and trying to say, oh, I remember what Mark said, if I just use these words, they might not work. That love might not work, or you're my brother might not work. This is what just comes out to the situation you're in front of. So, it's like, I'm going to teach you to be a psychic. I'm going to teach you I'm going to teach you to speak to spirit, right? I can't do that. I can't do it. And the guy who was showing me what keywords were, he can't do it neither. I can relate to it because I went through it, but he can't teach me that. It's just something I don't know. It's rare, it's unique. And I guess, when, to be honest, I wasn't really that interested when he started telling me about the darker side of stuff. It kind of made me feel a bit sick, and I didn't like what he was saying, so I didn't really want to pursue a relationship with him, to be honest. I still know of him, but I don't really want to deal with that, but I was interested. And the fact that he came for a reading to see if I was genuine or not was, okay, I wasn't really overjoyed about it. If people are just coming to check me out, see if I'm a liar, it's like, well, isn't it more important to come and listen to a beautiful message rather than coming to see if I'm fake? Crazy. But then people do what people do. So the idea of using keywords to change somebody's mind or change an outcome, I don't find that loving. I don't find it positive. I find it, in a sense, kind of dark, and I don't like it. But I do understand the two, and I have respect for both of them. I don't really want to go any further than that thus far, but it's a brief introduction into keywords, I guess. And I don't think it's really giving you much ammunition to be able to use in the future. I don't think it's a big revelation. I don't think it's gonna, oh, well, what was the point of this, you know? Oh, okay then, well, that wasn't really interesting. Well, exactly why I said I didn't really want to talk about keywords. Then it's not that big a deal, and I've said it before. But just like the life of Brian, people need to know now, because I just said I don't really want to say what them keywords are. Everybody thinks there's a bigger agenda. Mark Bajerski, keeping secrets. I don't keep secrets. I'm an open book. But I also understand that sometimes giving information to the wrong person, they might not be ready for it and they might use it wrongly. That was something, that's why I didn't say that. That's why doing this might seem a little bit more plausible. And like, okay, it's not a big a deal. It's not that big a deal, and I kind of understood that anyway. But like I said, if you're in a situation where you know that your life could be at risk and somebody is about to do something, all I can tell you is what I've done. And I tap into this understanding now, which it comes from the soul. And the soul doesn't plead. It has a power. And it has an energy that can dispel darkness or dark thoughts or dark actions, but not always. It just did for me, and I was blessed enough to be able to pull certain words out that changed the vibration, the frequency, and the outcome that could have been really, really bad. So that's it. Short but sweet. I'm going to go now, and I'm wishing you all a lovely day. That's it. Take care, guys. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye.